Today we have some more updates on the One Scarif DLC, as well as details on the upcoming patch and changes to Star Wars Battlefront. We now know that the structure in orbit above Scarif is actually a shield gate, which protects the tropical planet from attack. And finally, we have an update from Christian, the weapons designer of Star Wars Battlefront, who revealed a load of details on the upcoming changes and how they are going to affect the secondary fire of weapons. So today I'm going to quickly recap all of the news and break it down for you guys. My name is Connor and welcome to Star Wars Central. Now, before we begin, you may have noticed recently that a lot of people have been saying YouTube is broken. This has affected bigger YouTubers like Westy, some of the other Star Wars YouTubers, a lot of commentary and news channels, and even me. For some reason, videos are no longer being posted to you guys properly. YouTube is definitely broken at this stage, meaning you have no idea when important videos are being uploaded. Almost a week ago, I uploaded a video that only got 300 views after 24 hours. I decided to delete that video after I asked you guys, did YouTube send you the video, and about 80% of those who responded said no, which is a serious problem. I make these videos for you guys, so if they're not actually getting to you, then that's definitely not good. Anyway, YouTube still haven't fixed this issue, but I'm just gonna keep uploading. In the meantime, there is a temporary solution that you guys can do to make sure you get the new videos. Scroll down the page to the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and select send me all notifications. This means YouTube won't just guess when to tell you there's a new video, it will make sure you get sent the new videos the moment they upload. Anyway, let's get started with today's video. So the large orbital structure that we see in the Rogue One trailer has been confirmed as a shield gate. Basically, the entire planet is surrounded by a protective shield, just like the second Death Star in Return of the Jedi. Except instead of lowering and raising the shield every time someone needs to gain access, they use the shield gate. It's a large opening that's the only way in or out of Scarif. Now, obviously from the Rogue One trailers, we know that this is going to be the setting of a huge space battle between an Imperial fleet, hundreds of TIE fighters, and what is probably the entire Rebel fleet turning up to break their way into the planet. Now, the great thing is we have confirmation that there will be a space battle over Scarif in the Rogue One DLC. We also know that the Rogue One DLC will feature content from the Rogue One movie, meaning it's very, very likely the space battle we get to play in Battlefront will be similar, if not the same as the space battle in the movie. So we're probably going to get movie details in the Scarif DLC, which should give us a good insight into what's going to happen in Rogue One. Anyway, moving on to these secondary fire changes, which I'm sure most of you are way more excited about anyway. I personally love the idea of weapons having multiple modes, fire settings, etc. The new tactics and strategy that have been introduced are very interesting, and being a fan of Battlefield, I just love it when the player gets more options. Now, whilst I like it, I have to admit it's been very broken since it was released. And it still is broken because it hasn't been patched yet. You can basically just run around with the TL50 and about half of your kills will be from the secondary fire. The crazy thing is, its secondary fire is actually more powerful than the weapon itself, which is just insane, because the TL50 is already arguably the most versatile weapon in the game. So when I saw that the secondary fire was going to be nerfed, I actually got kind of excited. So let's take a look at what the weapons designer of Battlefront, Christian Johannesson, had to say. Someone on Twitter asked him, will secondary fire see any changes in this patch? Christian replied saying the main updates is a fix where they did excessive damage to vehicles and the cooling flush skill game will be harder to play. He also goes on to say that the damage of secondary fire to heroes is also going to be nerfed as well. So he confirms that the secondary fire on both weapons will be getting a nerf. So that means the TL50 and the K16. Now for the K16, I'm actually pretty sure I'm going to disagree with some of the changes. It's not that I disagree that its damage should be reduced, it's just that I think it needs a rework, not a simple balancing fix. So for example, the K16 could do very well to have its charge time reduced, whilst also reducing its damage. It just takes so long to charge it to begin with that even with the crazy damage rolls, it's very rare to find a player that legitimately is using a K16 outside of Hero Hunt or Heroes vs Villains. The K16 Briar pistol needs to be reworked, reduce the aiming penalty when charged but keep the movement penalty. People should be able to kill you before you fire it. And also reduce the charge time but increase vehicle and hero resistance to the K16 shot. It should still deal a lot of damage, but I have to admit, in its current state, it is completely broken. Anyway, moving on to the TL50, Christian has confirmed that the skill game is going to be made harder. So currently in Battlefront, when you fire the TL50's concussion blast, there is no hard cooldown. If you time it right, you can get another concussion blast just a few seconds after the first. To be fair, this skill game does get progressively difficult, and if you screw it up, you normally get yourself killed. But in its current state, it is a little bit too easy, so I think making this harder is a great move by DICE. We don't have to remove secondary fire entirely, we just have to discourage people from using it all the time. It should be a valid option in the right scenario, but it can no longer be the best option in most cases. It should be a valid option in the right scenario, but it can no longer be the best option in most cases. So, to sum up the changes, secondary fire is going to be nerfed with the skill game of cooling the weapon being made harder, and the damage of secondary fire to vehicles and heroes is also going to be made weaker. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Tell me in the comments below what you think of the secondary fire changes. Are they too much or are they not enough? Also, tell me what you guys think of this new shield gate and how you think DICE will implement this in a space battle map. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.